Let me start by saying what a great year Youngstown State had. Jared Calhoun deserved to be Coach of the Year. He's done an unbelievable job with that program. But there needs to be a contract extension and a pay raise waiting for him when he gets back. Just what he's done is unbelievable. They've got great competitive character. Just had a tremendous year. Dwayne Cohill is a fantastic player. And he's not the only one they have, but we knew it would be a tough game coming in. We had a tremendous amount of respect for Youngstown State and the team they have and how hard they play and compete. I thought our guys were really locked in on the things that we needed to do in order to play well, and mainly that was be aggressive on both ends. And I thought we did that defensively in the first half for sure. And offensively, they made it hard for us. They pressured and really got home and took away threes. But our guys did a good job of driving the ball and playing through contact. And, a huge difference in the game was, the number of times that we got to the foul line and how we were able to shoot it from there. And, these two guys are terrific. We've got no chance to be in this position without them. But can't say enough about Chris Brandon and the game he had and the presence that he was around the basket tonight defensively and rebounding the ball especially. And then also Xavier Rhodes. I thought he was a difference maker tonight on both ends of the floor.
All right, questions for Sam and Marquez. Again, please raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone. Questions for the student athletes. Right here down in front, please. Your name and affiliation, please.
Dan Weber, Northern Kentucky Tribune. How was it possible during those 10-1 run and 9-0 run not to start thinking about last year and thinking, where were you guys when that was happening as far as remembering last year?
Yeah, we can't make that memory go away. I wish we could, but we just can't. But, in the game, we don't think about the past. We just think about what's happened up to this point. And the big difference between this year and last year is that, we were more together during their runs. We responded well. I don't think we let it get in under 5 or 4 maybe, but besides that, we really responded well together. Didn't keep our head down when they made runs because we knew, we expected them to make shots.
Sam, anything to add to that?
Just similar to what Quez said, every huddle we came back to, everyone was talking, staying together, saying keep our heads up, and we responded well to every single run they had, every single run they threw at us, and I'm proud of the guys for the way we responded, and we're just trying to get back at it.
Next question. Any questions for the student athletes for Sam or Marquez? Right here, right in the middle. Your name and affiliation, please.
Matt Dudek with the Rhizome Roundtable, and either of you can answer this. Can you just talk about how you felt that your crowd traveled here, moving from your home to the neutral site? How did you feel that you guys, were represented by your own?
Yeah, it's always a big boost to us. We have a good home crowd, usually most games, and we knew coming in because we have a good winning program, and the fans travel with us to neutral sites, and so we knew we had a good crowd coming. Youngstown had a good one as well, but we just feed off our own crowd's energy.
Sam?
We say it every day, every game. The crowds are six-man, really. They bring us energy, and they get us going when we need it most. And we had a great crowd travel with us today, and I can't wait to see the crowd tomorrow, and I'm excited.
More questions for the student athletes for Sam and Marquez. Right down in front, go ahead. Name and affiliation, please.
I'm Katie Moore with the IUPUI Sports Capital Journalism Program. Looking at the championship, does your mission change? What are you thinking going into the championship? And Coach, and either of you two can answer that. Just what's on your mind going into that?
There's really no change. Just the same game we've played all year, the same game we played tonight. It's just one more game. It's just, honestly, just another game, just more at stake, you know what I'm saying? We just have to play with the same grit, the same energy, the same focus. That's what's going to get us a win tomorrow.
Sam?
Yeah, it's been our goal this whole year to get back to the finals and to win this thing this year. So same mindset, we're going in there being aggressive on both sides of the ball, and we're just trying to get this W.
Go ahead, Coach, if you want to.
Yeah, these guys have been really good about exactly what they just said, and just kind of coming out the next day. And part of our program is, this is where we want to be in March. We talk about it a lot, and so if you play great in January, that's great. But guys, we don't want to be great on January 3rd. We want to be great on March 6th. And so if you don't play great, hey guys, it's not the end of the world. We got to keep getting better, right? We want to be our best at the end of the year, and this group has shown a ton of maturity in doing that, led by these two guys and Trayvon as well. And I think that's a big reason we were able to play the way that we did tonight.
Right behind you, Josh.
Hi, Josh Rattray, HorizonLeague.org. This is for Marquez. You had 16 in the first half. You're playing really well. Then you don't score for 16 minutes of game time. And then you had 6 points really quickly. Was there something in your mind that you were thinking, I mean, I got to, make some plays, step up, take over, kind of in crunch time?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great start, but I did continue to have the good looks that I wanted in the second half. They just didn't fall. But then I think it was like the last 5 or 6 minutes. That's when I had 6 points. And really, I mean, the team they looked to me to step up in those moments. They made a comeback. I think most I cut it down to like four. So they needed me to really step up offensively because I didn't score up to that point. So, yeah.
Any further questions for Sam and Marquez? Right down here in front, please. Name and affiliation, please.
Hi, my name is Michael with the Sports Capital Journalism Program. This question for Coach. How were you guys able to stay composed and calm throughout the whole game when they started to come back in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of that composure is that, we've had several games like that this year, and sometimes we didn't do a great job of keeping our composure. But, we've also got a lot of guys on the floor. You look at the guys that finished the game for us, and all of those guys played in the championship last year, and a bunch of them were in the semifinals the year before in the COVID year. And so, we've got quite a bit of experience out there in that situation. And I just think there's a different confidence level, and as Marquez touched on, maybe a different trust level with these guys, with each other, to be able to withstand that. And I think there's a maturity level, too, to understand Youngstown State's a terrific team, right? They're not going to go away and just lay down and, let us run up another 15 points on them. And so that's, you don't want to let them get back in, but, they're not going to stop playing. And our guys are mature enough to know that.
Let's go right here to the back. And by back, I mean second row.
Bob McDonald, Horizon Roundtable. Coach, talk about Chris Brandon's dominance on the glass tonight. He had 17 boards. How important was it to do what he did as well as he did, especially knowing that YSU is going to crash the glass the same way? Yeah,
no, I mean, Chris Brandon was unbelievable tonight. I think a real difference maker in the game, and he was a difference maker on offense too. Only had 8 points, but the way he screens and keeps basketballs alive and offensive rebounds and gets other opportunities for guys. I mean, we think he's as good as anybody literally in college basketball at doing that. And when he plays like he did tonight, it's a huge lift for our team.
Along with the experience from coming the last 2 years, when you've come as close as you guys have, is there a fire that was lit that burns to this moment and for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think you probably needed to ask the guys that. I think there is. That's not something that we talk about. Again, our program expectation is to be competing this way at this time of year, and so that's kind of an every year thing. Did they really want to get back and have another shot at it? I would say yes, but it's not something that we talk about a lot as a program. That we talk about this as a new year and a new team and a new league and a new schedule, and but we still want to be there at the end of the year. That's more of our team approach. Are the guys talking about that? You'd have to ask them.
Further questions for Coach Horn? Right over here, and right back to the front. Go ahead, right there.
Darren, you seem to be emphasizing deflections and offensive rebounding percentage. Can you talk about why that was so important for your team in this game?
Yeah, well, the deflections thing, like most teams in college basketball at this point, it's just kind of a barometer of how active you are defensively. We ended up with the best defense in the league statistically, and a big part of that was steals. I think we're top 10 in the country, top 15. I don't know where we are this week, but and you got to be active with your hands to do that. And we're not a particularly big team. We've got some length, but we're not particularly big, and so it's just really important to be active defensively with your hands. And then same thing on the offensive rebounding. It's just a way to get some extra possessions, maybe get to the foul line. Again, Chris Brandon's as good as what he does as anybody, but he's not a back to the basket where we throw it in there guy, and he makes everything better offensively. And so we got to find a way to use our athleticism and create some opportunities on the offensive end as well.
Let's go back to the front, one or two more, and we'll let Coach go and get ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, excuse me, Dan Weber, Northern Kentucky Tribune. The way your guys started, it looked like they believed they had the answer, that they were going to be able to do some things and that they were going to be able to stop Youngstown State. How was that game plan at the very beginning?
Yeah, you know, I mean, oddly enough, it was a little bit less of a game plan in terms of a ton of specifics than we normally do. We felt like maybe the last few games we haven't been quite as aggressive defensively because maybe we've been a little too specific about when they go here, we do this, you know, type of deal. And so we really concentrated on just trying to be the more aggressive team and playing really aggressive defensively. And I think our guys did a good job of that.
One final question for Darren. No takers, Coach. We'll let you go. Congratulations.
Thank
Best of
you
luck
all.
tomorrow night.
Thank you.